Coming up next, reaction to potential closures of Penn State campuses around the state.
My brother also went to Penn State, and it helps a lot for saving money.
Plus, local Ukrainians mark the third somber anniversary since Russia launched its full-scale invasion.
And a warning about State Patty's weekend in State College, the student-created drinking holiday. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Eva Hines.
And I'm Jaden Vogel. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, the fallout from Penn State's decision to explore closing some of its campuses across Pennsylvania. Reactions range from disappointment and anger to fear. Reporter Francie Ebert is on the University Park campus with the story. Francie?
This campus, along with 6 others, are safe from closures, but due to dropping enrollments and demographic shifts, we might see some big moves from Penn State. The days of Penn State's nearly 20 campuses around the state are now numbered. The university says it will explore campus closures. That's tough news for students like Nicholas Golab, who went to the New Kensington for 2 years before heading to the University Park. He says starting at a branch campus saved money.
Since my mom has 3 kids and we're all going to college, it's definitely going to be a lot for her. So my brother also went to Penn State, and it helps a lot for saving money, being able to do that.
New Kensington is on the possible closure list. Others include Beaver, Du Bois, Fayette, Greater Allegheny, New Kensington, Schuylkill, Wilkes-Barre, and York. Penn State says declining enrollments, demographic shifts, and financial pressures are taking a toll. President Neely Bendapudi says, quote, "We have exhausted reasonable alternatives to maintain the current number of campuses. We now must move forward with a structure that is sustainable, one that allows our strongest campuses to thrive, while we make difficult but necessary decisions about others." State Representative Jill Cooper of Westmoreland County is worried about the effect of any closures on students and towns.
Impacts the students, but it impacts the economy. Anytime young people's opportunities are taken off the table, if in fact New Ken is one of the campuses that is closed that's in my district, that's very concerning to me.
There are campuses that are safe from closing: Abington, Altoona, Behrend, Berks, Brandywine, Harrisburg, and Lehigh Valley, along with the Great Valley, the medical school, and law school. Liz Kepner is director of the Multimedia Innovation Center and teaches at Penn State Lehigh Valley.
I was really glad to hear that the Penn State Lehigh Valley campus was staying open. We've had Penn State presence here in the Lehigh Valley since 1912, over a century. So we're really excited that we're going to be able to keep supporting our students.
The university says no campus will close before the end of the 2026-2027 academic year. Penn State's campuses will be reviewed for closure by an internal team, and that internal team will make a recommendation for a decision by spring commencement. Live in University Park, I'm Francie Ebert. Back to you.
Thanks, Francie. Penn State is also dealing with the impacts of recent White House executive orders, including research funding and diversity. Derek Stilley reports.
Overall, I feel like people don't know what's going on, and they're a little uncertain about everything.
With recent headlines about federal policy changes ranging from research funding to diversity, equity, and inclusion, Penn State's president sent a simple message: our mission has not changed. It's been a challenging time for universities like Penn State as they navigate executive orders from Washington. One of those is President Trump's effort to end government support for programs promoting DEI. It's left faculty, staff, and students looking for answers and reassurance from their schools. Temple student Cole Messer says DEI initiatives help students unify with a common goal.
In my experience, people feel at least somewhat reassured at the fact that the president's come out and openly said that they intend on staying the course and sticking with DEI.
At Penn State, the Paul Robeson Culture Center is a space that promotes diversity and inclusion, but its mission and its future could be impacted by the directives coming in from D.C. Penn State education and civil rights professor Erica Frankenberg believes it's important to stay informed.
It's very unclear what specifically is or isn't being addressed.
A federal judge has largely blocked Trump's DEI executive orders with a preliminary injunction. while the Trump administration has argued the president was targeting only DEI programs that violate federal civil rights laws. I reached out to multiple Penn State officials for comment, but they declined to be interviewed. In University Park, I'm Derek Stilley for the Center County Report.
The federal orders are also impacting private businesses. In the latest example, Paramount just told employees it's ending DEI policies. That's according to a memo obtained by CNBC.
Penn State has approved $92 million in renovations for 2 University Park residence halls. The projects include plans to renovate Pollock halls, beginning with updates to Rittner and Wolf halls. It includes new amenities like air conditioning and shared private bathrooms, as well as a design to encourage social interaction. Renovations are scheduled to be done in summer 2026.
Pennsylvania is investing more than $1 million in Penn State to strengthen the state's agricultural workforce. The funding supports a 2-year project led by the Penn State Extension and Center for Agricultural and Shale Law. It'll help small and mid-sized farms with hiring, safety, and workforce training. Officials say this will help support agribusiness and keep farms running.
Governor Josh Shapiro announced that this week that President Donald Trump's administration has freed up $2 billion in federal aid that Shapiro had accused it of illegally withholding. Earlier this month, Shapiro sued in federal court. The lawsuit said the money was being withheld from programs that will help improve municipal water quality and upgrade energy efficiency.
A funeral service is being held today for a police officer shot and killed while responding to a hospital shooting in York. Officer Andrew Duarte was killed and 5 other people were injured last weekend. A gunman took staff hostage at UPMC and shot 3 employees and several officers before police shot and killed him. The shooting was the latest in a wave of gun violence that swept through U.S. hospitals and medical centers.
In a Rome hospital, Pope Francis continues to show some improvement in his battle with double pneumonia. Crowds have been gathering outside Gemelli Hospital to show their support for the 88-year-old Pope. He has not had any respiratory crises since Saturday, but is still receiving supplemental oxygen.
This week marked the 3rd anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The effects of the war continue to be felt even here in Pennsylvania. This week, Ukraine marked the 3rd somber anniversary since Russia launched its full-scale invasion. 5,000 miles away here in Pennsylvania, Ukrainians remember the moment the war started.
I remember it very vividly. I was, back then I was a freshman, I was kind of working in an office at North, and yeah, I just saw messages coming in from one of my friends, and at first I didn't believe it.
Igor Lasonich is president of Ukrainian Society at Penn State. He's watched as the prolonged war has physically and emotionally drained both Ukrainian citizens and those living abroad.
The frustration and irritation with the global consensus and just generally the inactivity that we've seen across the globe has had a lot of people kind of just become very, very tired of the situation.
As of today, Russia has occupied about 20% of Ukraine's territory. The war has prompted Europe's largest refugee crisis since World War II. Igor says anyone who isn't familiar with the war and its politics should do their research and educate themselves.
Doing due diligence. Look at why individuals are doing what they are doing. It's almost never as black and white as it is.
He says sharing experiences and challenges can create a broader sense of unity and understanding.
What I hope is that our struggle here will also resonate with other people and we'll be able to address it all together.
On the battlefield, Putin's troops are making steady progress, while Ukraine deals with shortages of troops and weapons, along with uncertainty over President Trump's next moves. The European Council plans an emergency summit of the 27 EU leaders next week, with Ukraine at the top of the agenda.
Still to come on the Center County Report, a look at our chilly weekend weather forecast.
And the music lineup is announced for a Center County summer tradition. Also coming up, State College Police and Penn State send out a warning ahead of a controversial annual event that starts today.
St. Patrick's Day is still a few weeks away, but at Penn State, the student-created State Patties Weekend is here. That means plenty of partying and lots of worrying for police and Penn State. Reporter Lauren Reel explains why.
State College is known for its blue and white pride, but this weekend it'll be flooded with green. State Patties Weekend is a student-created party complete with its own merchandise. Its controversial history includes a darker side: arrests, hospitalizations, and other problems fueled by drinking.
We'll get our normal crowd that comes out, and then we'll probably get their friends and other people's friends that are just coming into town looking for a place to go. So I think we'll probably have a bigger crowd than, just a normal weekend.
With the anticipation of busy bars and house parties downtown, businesses are preparing for the chaos.
We overstaff a little bit. I staff more security, more bartenders and stuff like that, just so we have more visibility within the venue.
This holiday brings a lot of attention to downtown State College, but also becomes a bit of a stressor for local law officials. They warn students against the dangers of excessive drinking. State College police released a statement urging students to limit guests in their apartments, prevent minors from drinking, keep noise levels at a reasonable level, and ensure your property is free of trash. The department says it's also working with other agencies to expand the police presence downtown. The Bureau hopes the fun comes without too many shenanigans. In State College, I'm Lauren Reel for the Center County Report.
Students charged with any criminal violation will also be reported to Penn State's Office of Student Accountability and Conflict Response.
Another popular event, the Center County Grange Fair, is more than 5 months away, but the music lineup is already taking shape. This year's grandstand lineup features country singers like Daryl Worley and Neil McCoy, a Johnny Cash tribute by Terry Lee Goffey, and Christian artists Consumed by Fire and Caleb John. The fair runs from August 15th till the 23rd in Center Hall.
After a relatively mild week, Mother Nature will be here to remind us that it is still winter this weekend with incoming cold temperatures. Looking at live camera right outside of Arboretum right now, we have relatively calm conditions with temperatures right around average for this time of year. We do have those mostly cloudy skies. However, with a stout westerly wind at 13 miles per hour, we do have that wind chill effect, making it feel right around freezing. Temperatures across the state are sitting into the upper 30s to low 40s, a little bit colder as you head north and west, a little bit warmer down to Philly, almost hitting the 50-degree mark this afternoon. Current radar and satellite, we did have a few snow showers and snow flurries this morning that coated some surfaces across the Center County, but with higher pressure moving in this afternoon, we'll see some of those showers dissipate. Our big weather story will be this low pressure system now situated in the upper Great Lakes region with a strong cold front that is moving through the plains. This is bringing a lot of colder air from the Arctic regions in Canada, which will have big implications to our weekend forecast. Taking it out for the rest of the afternoon, temperatures will warm up above average. Our average high for this time of year is around 40 degrees, but as we head into the evening, we won't really see that much of a drop off as temperatures remain relatively mild. With temperatures only tonight dropping down to a low of 41. We'll see those increasing clouds and those winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tracking it out tomorrow, our cold front will begin to move into the Commonwealth as we head into the early to mid-afternoon hours. We'll be coming through the State College area right around 11 a.m. Won't be a lot of precipitation with this front. We could see a few snow showers or snow squalls, but otherwise it's going to be that cold air coming out from the northwest. In fact, the temperatures will be dropping. Starting off in the morning, temperatures in the low 40s to upper 30s, but look at that, already seeing temperatures dropping in Erie and Northwest PA. By the noon hour, we'll be down to the freezing mark, and those temperatures will continue to drop as we head into the evening. So if you're heading out and about tomorrow afternoon and evening, temperatures already in the teens by 8 o'clock. So tomorrow's high, 44, will be around 7 a.m. with, again, those temperatures will be dropping by the evening hours. Taking a look at our 7-day outlook, again, this cold front will usher in some very cold air on Sunday with temperatures barely making it into the upper 20s, but we will see that warming trend as we head into the middle of next week with highs possibly by 60 degrees on Thursday. So it seems like spring is full swing here in Pennsylvania with varying temperatures.
I was really enjoying that warmer weather this past week, but it's just going to get colder.
Yeah, so. I'm really glad that we are getting 60 degrees on Thursday, though. That's amazing. Thanks, Dennis. Coming up next, we have Ethan with the latest on sports.
Coming up next in sports, Penn State Athletic Director Pat Kraft gives a winter update on football, wrestling, and more. And the red-hot Penn State hockey team is set to host the Minnesota Golden Gophers this weekend in a critical Big Ten matchup on the ice? Stay with us. I'm Ethan Hetrick with sports. One of the most important home weekends in Penn State hockey history starts tonight as the Nittany Lions continue their playoff push against the number 2 Minnesota. They're coming off a series at number 1 Michigan State where the Lions took 5 of the possible 6 points Saturday night. They held on for a 3-2 win thanks to 42 saves from Arseny Surigati. Tonight is the annual Wear White game at Pagula. 5 former Penn State players are at this weekend's NFL Combine in Indianapolis. They included expected top 5 draft pick Abdul Carter. He won't work out there because of an injury, neither will Tyler Warren. But the other players at the Combine are Kobe King, Jalen Reed, and KJ Winston. It's a very busy year for Penn State sports. Athletic Director Pat Kraft held a news conference this week to talk about everything from football to NIL to wrestling. Carson Schuler has the story.
Penn State Athletics VP Pat Kraft met with the media this week, covering a wide range of topics from NIL and wrestling scholarships to the changing college football calendar and stadium renovations. Since the introduction of NIL, Penn State has been playing catch-up, but Kraft says they have made strides, even as major changes loom, with revenue sharing set to take effect this year.
What people think the traditional NIL piece, I think we're where we need to be. Look, you got to continue to do what you got to do.
On the mat, Penn State Wrestling just wrapped up its 5th straight undefeated regular season. Kraft reaffirmed the university's commitment to the program, and talking more about scholarships, he said,
But we're going to give Kale what he needs, and I can tell you that we've added scholarships for him in the future.
In the meantime, Penn State men's basketball has struggled in its 2nd season under head coach Mike Rhodes. Despite a tough stretch, Kraft says he's confident in the program's future.
Kraft talked a lot about the future of Penn State football at this press conference. With the new playoff format here and challenges brought on by the transfer portal for both players and teams alike, he even hinted at the idea of bringing on a GM for Penn State football in the future.
Once again, yes, if James texts me today and we talk about it and he found someone, I'm like, okay, that's great.
With NIL, conference realignment, and playoff expansion reshaping college sports, it's another busy year for Penn State. In University Park, I'm Carson Schuler for the Center County Report.
The next big event for football is the Blue-White game that's set for April 26th at Beaver Stadium. Penn State sports has lost a legend. Sport historian Lou Prado passed away this week. Prado was a former TV news journalist, teacher, and author. He's best known at Penn State as the founding director of the All Sports Museum, and as sports historian, Lou Prado was 87 years old. He will be missed. Now, to the hardwood, Penn State's men's basketball plays its final home game tomorrow against number 16 Maryland. The Lady Lions go back on the road to wrap up their season against Rutgers on Sunday. They dropped a close one last night to the Boilermakers, 92-85 at the BJC. Senior Gabby Elliott led the effort on senior night, with 32 knocking down 6 threes. Purdue's sophomore, Sophie Swanson, was the difference maker coming off the bench, finishing with 29. Now to high school basketball, reigning state champions Bishop Guilfoyle got a big win against Bishop Carroll this week. The Lady Marauders claimed their 28th District 6 championship, winning 61-44. BG is now 25-2 on the season. They won 19 out of their last 20 and now look forward to competing in the PIAA tournament on March 8th. The PIAA has made new changes to high school basketball rules. To follow President Trump's executive order aimed at keeping men out of women's sports, the PIAA updated its transgender policies to read, quote, where a student's sex is questioned or uncertain, the decision of the school as to the student's sex will be accepted by the PIAA. It's also ruled any celebration that looks like a gun, like finger guns, will be a technical foul. See, that's all for sports. How do you think our hockey team's going to do tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I've heard they've had a really good season so far.
I've also heard the same, so I'm pretty excited to see how it ends up. Thanks, Ethan. Coming up next, the state college community comes together to support a true piece of American history. A new bar is opening this weekend in downtown State College. The Hideaway Electric Speakeasy is set to have its grand opening tomorrow. It's on East Calder Way and features a colorful blend of neon artwork. Just be ready, there's a $20 cover charge after 9 o'clock.
The State College community came together recently to support a project focused on a piece of truly American history. Reporter Ali Winskowski has the story.
One piece of clay can have a whole lot of meaning. The Penn State Hub Galleries is hosting the Bison Bead Project. It's part of a nationwide effort to showcase a story of the survival and regeneration of the American and Plains bison.
And it's a community engagement project developed by Chanupa Hanska Luger. He is currently exhibiting in the Hub Gallery. He has a solo exhibition right over at Hub Gallery.
His exhibition, titled Reunion, is available through Tuesday. It features artwork most focused on Indigenous futurism and Buffalo Nation. Bison are no longer threatened with extinction in America, but in the late 1800s there were only a few hundred left. Indigenous people and conservationists worked to successfully rebuild populations. The Bison Bead Project will feature 31,000 beads, each representing a wild bison.
Making a bison bead is super simple. You take your block of clay, you're gonna roll it into a ball, making sure it's as sphere as possible. You're then gonna take your wooden pick and make a small hole in the side of the clay. And voila, then you're finished. I use water to smooth down the edge of the hole of my bead, but other than that, I'm done.
It's unclear when the bison sculpture will be finished, but Penn State's contribution helped Luger get much closer. Community members and students came to help.
It's really cool. I enjoy learning about Indigenous cultures, so I was excited to learn more about the project through the videos and like the information from the volunteers.
Nearly 1,700 beads were created in one day, which will be fired and mailed to Chanupa. In University Park, I'm Ali Winskowski for the Center County Report.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good weekend.